Hey guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Today we're back with the Mauler team. If you remember from last episode, we got to chapter 12. So let's go ahead and get some summons. We got some faction scrolls, we got some gems, we got some scrolls, we got some companion summons. Kind of everything on this account. So we're going to start with the faction summons. Hopefully we pull an elite out of here, which we do. Very nice. We only had 10 of these scrolls, so we know we got someone. Sophia. I have a lot of copies of Sophia, but she is super strong. If you look at her signature item, it increases her damage. They said overall she does the most damage of any hero, which I'm surprised. And we have another elite right there. Sophia again, and another. Holy cow. And a Falk's pretty good. That will help the Lightbearer team. So double elite right off the bat. 2 Sophias, which I believe that gives me I think like 4 or 5 copies of her. So I've gotten her more than any other Mauler. So super excited to get her, and we get some pretty good fodder there, which we need a lot. I think I'm going to go ahead and make some tough decisions on some of the accounts. I'm going to start sacrificing a couple people. And then Azizel, another elite. Very nice. Just because it seems like I'm getting too many elite or even too many legendary. Instead of spreading the legendary across 5 heroes, just making sure that I get 1 or 2 at least up to the mythic level so I can unlock the signature items, help carry the team. I'd love to get Brutus on here, so just a little bit more fodder on that one. And then we do have our card on the table, which always picking our Maulers. And it is that Tranda. So she is unlocked. I didn't have her on the Mauler account. I've been asked lately if you use her. I do have her, I believe Mythic or Mythic Plus on the main account. She dies super fast. I used her a couple times for the tower. And there I got another Sophia up, which is good. But back to Satranda, I think Satranda. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it. But every time I've used her, because she has melee, she runs right in. She dies off the bat. That's kind of what I've seen every time. And looking at the heroes here, as you can see, Sophia, I have, I believe, 4 Elite Plus copies of her. So I have a lot of copies of her. I could really ascend her. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, who I should get up. I have 4 legendary heroes on here, but I do have a lot of emblems. That's why I'm thinking of taking somebody to Mythic so I can unlock some signature items. I'd like it to be Brutus. Main account doesn't have Brutus. And I know stronger through the game. Nemitsu, I absolutely love if I could get another couple copies of him. But I've also considered foddering some of the heroes that I can just buy from the shop. Scrag I'd like, because I know Scrag is super, super tough, especially later on in the game. So let's go ahead and use all of our rare heroes, soul stones here. A little bit more fodder there, but not much. Not sure if there's anyone else that we can, well, a couple more that we can get up. And I think that will be about it. So I don't think I'm going to ascend to anybody right now, just because I kind of want to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. So we're going to go ahead and get into the campaign. We just got into chapter 12. And here we are ready for our push. I got everyone geared up, got them leveled up. And I like the dynamic of this team. So I run Brutus up front as my main tank. Antandro right in the bottom, who is kind of the off tank. I use Chaos in the back, which he can tank. He is really solid as a tank, but he does a ton of damage. Not only does he bring life leech to the team, as he brings a lot of damage. And the reason I like to keep him in the back is when his ultimate ability goes off, he actually leaves the back line pretty exposed, because he will run over and use his ultimate on a target that's usually in the back line. So here, Brutus, they just can't get down, him and his whirlwind. And as you can see, K-Sauce that ran right off right there. And then Sophia's ultimate was going off, which does a ton of damage. This team, patch 1.29, Mauler's got a huge buff. I believe Nemitsu got a buff. Sophia got a buff. I believe K-Sauce got a buff. So I think most of this team got a buff. And they increased the life leech as well, which is awesome. So the survivability of this team is through the roof. And I think either focusing on Nemitsu, which I love his totems, as you can see there. He popped the totem right behind Brutus. Brutus just turned right around, spent the whole time attacking the totem, didn't even bother anyone else. And then we get this one down. So it's 12-4, so 4 stages down. So we'll continue the push here. The only team that pushed further than, well, the only team that I've ran this week is I ran the Light Bearers, which they pushed all the way through this chapter, powered right through it with the Belinda combo, with the Belinda Rosaline combo, pushed all the way through this chapter. Not sure if with the buff to the Mauler team, if they're going to do the same, but it seems like they're going through pretty quick. And Sophia, I do need to get up. As you can see there, Savannah almost took her right down off the bat, just because I believe here she is my only non-legendary. She is only Elite Plus here, and I do have so many copies of her, is that if I just go ahead and feed some food to her, and there's no reason to have the 3 tanks. In a Mauler group, if you are running a similar setup to what I am, make sure that you have K-Sauce. You gotta have him, just because of the life leech ability. Not only does he bring the life leech ability to him, as he brings the life leech ability increase to the Maulers in general. So Maulers get a little bit of a bonus life leech in there, which helps out a lot. Keeps him alive, and then doubled over with Nemisu's healing totems. Not only does he have the damage totems, he has the healing totems. And I would love to see his signature item. That's why I think he's going to be one that I'm going to focus on getting up, getting at least to the mythic status to unlock his item. Because Maulers, as I've said before, the main account, I don't use any Maulers. I don't use any Wilders. So this team's kind of a hit or miss. Anatandra, a lot of times she dies pretty easy. I used her a couple times in the tower, especially when I use her in the labyrinth. She dies pretty quick, even though it seems like her abilities and her skill set's strong. In this team, she should be doing a lot better. I do have really good gear on her because she is the only agility one in this party. I have 2 strengths, the 1 agility, and the 2 intelligence, the 2 casters. So all of the gear so far this entire time has been dedicated to her, and it is all maxed up for the enchantments. And I love how she goes kind of right to the back row. As you've seen there, K-Sauce in the middle, him and his throwing axes hit Savius in the back, and then she actually goes through the first target in the front line, moves right to the back target, and starts taking him off. Even here, she did the same right there to Savius in the back. Savius is busy attacking Nemisu's totem, and Anatandra just takes him right down. And a pretty easy match at that. And Sophia's ultimate just does so much damage now, especially if there's more than 1 target up. Just the AoE damage is phenomenal with her. And her signature item just increases her damage even further, which is kind of crazy. I think if I had her up a little bit with the Ascensions, she'd be doing a lot better. But as you can see, Nemisu drops his totems on the character with the lowest hit points. So it dropped it right on top of her, even though she went down. It's getting a little, as we get into the little bit of a later stages, it's harder to keep her alive, especially because she's not quite as progressed as everybody else. Which, as you've seen, I do have 4 copies of her, including the one that I'm using. So I could go ahead and level her up a little bit as long as we got some food. And Veden in here, I don't like Veden at all. But he was awesome on my team. He carried the team for a significant amount of time. And we are on 12 was that 18? Went a little bit too quick there. I didn't get to see it. But as you can see right there with K-Sauce throwing axes, he took Isabel right out of the back line, killed her completely. And then the whole team just moved right down to Savius to take him out. So very, very solid team with the Maulers. Yep, 12-15 is where we're at now. So continue, and we are getting into more of the Ascended Heroes. As you can see there with the Brutus in the bottom. And if you look at Anatandra at the bottom, she has that little electric shield. that comes with Sophia right on her. So as Brutus was attacking her, he takes damage as well. Pretty cool little ability. Same team here. It's a pretty tough team just because of Isabella in the back. If you don't get to her like Anatandra does, she can take down your heroes pretty quick. And Sophia's ultimate. And if you look at the healing of the totems, they have a pretty good radius there. So we are already about, what's that, 18? So I believe we're almost 20 stages into the chapter. So a nice push by the Maulers. Not sure how the Wilders are going to do. Graveborn, hopefully they can catch up. That team's been struggling since the beginning. But another stage down, which is at 12-18. So we're 18 stages down. Which is good in the top. Brutus is just such a tank. Especially because most of the time with Life Leech and the Whirlwind, you got to kill him twice. Once he goes immune, he can get healed up, especially with a signature item. I believe the Whirlwind heals him for 10% of his hit points. So similar to other tanks, when you think Grezold with his minions, when the minion dies, heals him 10%. Brutus gets the shield, which heals him the 10%. And then coupled with Brutus does have Life Leech himself. So he's pretty tough tank to kill. Then you have on the other side, you have Lucius, which just shields himself, shields the team, and heals. So all the tanks are a little bit similar. I mean, the abilities overall are pretty similar. And they have changed it up with Lilith, like Gorvo recently with shields versus heals, which is a little bit of a difference and kind of a damage reflect. So pretty cool to change it up a little bit. But this team is still pushing through. And Golas is so strong. He's the one that I've always had problems with going through the campaign or even going through some of the peaks of time in different places is Golas' ability, not only the knockback to get to the back line, but as his hit points gets lower, his defense gets higher. So it's kind of difficult to get him down unless you got some real burst damage. Which here it looks like we're probably going to get this one down. Yep. I believe that puts us 22. 12-22. So 22 campaign levels so far, which is awesome. That is super strong. That will take us to 23. Maybe this team will push right into the next chapter. Sophia puts her little kind of aura around the three back heroes, which is great because that increases K-Sauce's damage right off the bat, as well as Nemitsu's and her own. And if anyone comes in that little barrier, they get it nerfed. They get their attack, I think maybe it's speed. Not sure. It might be speed or attack rating, but this might be a tough one. This might be, nope, we're going to get it down. Maybe. We should be able to. K-Sauce on K-Sauce wins. 12-24, so 24 stages in. That is a pretty solid clear. And Savius on the bottom was so... Savius Veden combo just took Anatandra right down. Move down to Savius and look at the dodge. Just throwing a ton of damage towards him and he's dodging everything. So that clears another boss level. And now we're getting into a lot of Ascended heroes. To where I'm not even having any that are mythic yet. Which the other catch point at this stage in the game is I've started to get the mythic level bounty quests. So I'm going to have to, again, make a pretty tough sacrifice here to see who I'm going to get up to be able to complete those bounty quests. Because I got to get at least one of each faction. And Savius just took out Nemitsu and Anatandra. This looks like it's going to be a defeat unless Brutus can pull off a miracle. The whirlwind is good, but not that good. So that'll be the defeat. I believe 12-27 is where we went to. 12-26, excuse me. So let's go ahead and we're going to collect up all of our gems, which we ran through a lot of stages there, a lot of boss stages, including 12-20, which was our halfway point. So almost through. We have enough gems to do another summon here, so hopefully we can pull another Mauler hero. If not, we're going to get some more fodder for the team. Let's see who we got here. So no fodder for the team, not even a Mauler on that pull. That's okay though. So here's the current team. Like I said, let me know on the bottom what you think, who I should fodder, who I should focus on working on Ascended. I think I'm going to go through and get some of these heroes, at least to the Mythic, so I can unlock some signature items, because I do have a significant amount of emblems from summons. As you can see here, here's the team. If you're running Maulers, let me know who you're really focused on. I like Titus. I've never used him, but I hear really bad things about him. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Loving the Mauler team. And as always, thank you guys for watching.